name's Steve Niles. I'm the writer and co-creator of 30 Days a Night. And they used to do little human interest pieces. They told the story about, this town of Barrow where these months of darkness. And I just thought about it. I was like, God, what a depressing place, and I wrote vampires in the margins.
We loved the graphic novel, and we loved the idea of making a movie that had a love story as the backbone. All of the development processes take a quantum leap forward the second a director comes aboard.
Am I looking smart enough to actually be on camera?
Definitely.
Do I look like a director?
Yeah, of course you do.
Good.
We found the guy, you're gonna love him. And I just think he's smart and he's gutsy and he's not afraid to push things a little, far.
A producer friend of mine sent me the first edition of the first issue of 30 Days of Night, and I opened it in an envelope, and he said, wouldn't this make a great film? And I was like, oh, that's brilliant.
Through their various drafts of the script, Steve Niles, Stuart Beatty, and Brian Nelson managed to capture what would ultimately be David's vision of the movie. Right now, the picture's 8 weeks out from shooting, and we're in active pre-production.
See it, right? You guys want some coffee or anything? Is a plan to burn down the town the best climax?
Our audience, they want to see the vampires get their ass kicked at the end of this. They don't want to see that these guys hunker down and win by the sun coming up.
We need to close the book on the vampires.
Here's my problem with that. If, in fact, the goal, which is to survive, just make it till the sun comes up, is not, in fact, the goal that everyone kind of comes to at the end of the first act, which is what I'm reading right now, to all of a sudden change that goal or to suggest that, that was a phony goal.
The only reason I like the idea of the town burning is that visually it's really great.
My instinct is, if you guys felt so passionately about trying something, my instinct is just to say go for it.
Okay.
As long as the understanding was that you gotta deliver.
Hey, Chloe and David.
Yes.
There could be a very weird thing that's going to happen, but I'm not going to know for 3 weeks. What if we said we wanted to start shooting in the middle of May? To shoot.
Oh my God.
We're kind of in this kind of limbo of development and pre-production at the same time.
And we're running out of time. Okay, DP.
DP. I would rather work with Yo Willems, who I know inside out and I've known for many, many years.
All right, production designer, is there somebody that you liked?
I had a really long, good talk with Paul Osterbury. He seemed really pragmatic, and he had loads of clever ideas. Would I be correct in the assumption that there are no real places where there are towns like Barrow? The idea of shooting in Alaska would have involved on this project, because of so much of it takes place in exteriors, but people would have died. So we are constructing Barrow in New Zealand.
Right now we're actively scouting a location to build our exterior of our town and some of our interiors. And it's an abandoned equestrian center, and it's probably the only stage in the world that, in order to get more height on the ceiling, you actually dig down into the floor.
That is what I officially call a shithole.
I think you'll call this whole stage a shithole when we're done.
Well, it's quite literally a shithole now.
We're also looking for an exterior location that would serve as the rugged environment of Barrow, Alaska.
Right here.
Yes, sir. We're talking about car driving fast, and the idea is that we can have a very mobile, very, kinetic camera inside.
Because I think you could do a road right along there, just whoosh, just to the left of that, whatever those pylons are.
This is a really risky place to try and shoot, I think. David wants to drag more things here rather than fewer things. If we don't get lucky, well, we're gonna get totally screwed. Hey guys, wait for me! Come on! Ah, you sons of
Brian Nelson had been writing a hell of a lot and delivered a second draft, and we had a meeting this morning which went really well.
Come around, quick, turn around, randomly. There's survival. The difference is
What kind of cameras?
It's going to be ARRI 435 high speed, Panavision Super 35. Third camera is required on specific actions, yes please. I would certainly say do not skimp on the lighting budget. I think it would be healthy to expect the worst.
This is going to be a really expensive shoot.
And I've got a lot of planning to do.
Police station. The cell, we're going to cut a hole in right by to the left of Annie here.
The action of the scene is very specific, which begins with our stranger. A lot more enclosed than I was expecting, which is going to lead to us rethinking some things. Then we're talking about the top of the pipe being underneath that. So we'll do the dialogue first.
On Eben?
Yeah.
On Billy?
Yeah. Yeah. Snow whacking backwards as if we're travelling at great speed. No, just somebody on the ground with a big kind of bloody splat. A neck wound with blood rig is exactly what we're after here.
What we've ordered that's arrived is not the right colours.
I like these jeans. These are great.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't do this. Well, it was raining. Look at that. I'll take that one just because it looks like a bread knife and it's got a different look to the rest of it. Bam, ace. Excellent. Can I get a couple of real ones?
Yeah.
For the producers. I have a number of angles. We're also going to have a dolly on the track back here. The track is going. The road is going to be on her. The camera's going to be edgy.
And roll cameras.
Running. Set. Set.
And action.
The reality of Barrow, Alaska is a little more modern now anyway. The buildings are remaining kind of boring, very boxy, simple buildings. And definitely the graphic novel is our starting point, and it's very dark, very monochromatic with just highlights of the blood red. In that sense, we were able to create our own fictitious Barrow the way we wanted it. I think will be more cinematic. All right, so here's a picture reference that I found in a book, and this is actually northern British Columbia, so it's close to the Alaskan border. So we took that from there. It went into my computer, and I drew it a bit of a scale, and I took it to one of the guys over there drafting it up.
Paul will give me a plan and maybe some profiles, and then I'll take that away and put it into a scene.
And then those drawings come to me, and I make models from it. The models are used to throw ideas around, see how spaces work.
Because we have a fictitious town, we are not going to a real town. We have to create everything either digitally or through this built environment. Basically, we needed to find a really big open area that we could create it's kind of like a western town where you have just the main street. So our main street at Rogers Avenue, which is a place called Hustonville. It's an old Air Force base. It's a giant field out on the edge of town. And that's our main street. I think, when we start the movie, we sort of introduce everyone mostly through that street. It's the main drag. Everyone's like in good spirits and everything.
Not finished yet?
Not finished yet.
Jesus Christ, how long, what have you been doing?
We've got the model here, David, again, to remind, if you want to stand here, look at what is here and what's up so far.
So we're here in Hobsonville, which is our main backlot, where we're going to be doing a lot of the larger action sequences. It's all fabricated, as you can see. Now, we are actually doing our best to base the conceptual illustrations of Barrow, the town, more in line with Ben Templesmith's artwork. We're trying to use as inspiration his silvery tones and darker shapes. If you want to have a look around, you can see a huge amount of construction going on.
trying to do a lot of the exterior shots actually inside. Indoors is a lot easier to control the fake snow.
We're shooting a lot of our interiors here, including Eco's Diner.
My idea is it was a harsh environment outside, it was very cold and bleak, and then inside we're going to add that layer of color and warmth.
And some of the other scenes in the general store.
This is the general store interior set.
I may not see this one.
Right? So
This was lovely.
one of the biggest challenges of this is actually creating the snow.
Yeah, we've got 2 weeks to prep this set. The ground will be covered with a white snow blanket.
What is this stuff?
It's called polymer.
Wow, that's kind of weird.
It's not toxic, you can breathe the stuff in, not a problem.
And as long as people don't walk on it, drive on it, it lasts really well.
Walking across the unmarked snow that the art department has asked us not to.
And I'm totally
step
guilty. Every exterior set is a snowed environment. This movie's probably going to be the biggest snow movie ever made.
And before you know it, we'll have the town of Barrow.
We've built actually quite a bit. And a lot of it is real.
Welcome to Barrow, top of the world.
We never really go massively stylized, but there's a metallic coldness and a sense of just the biting cold and endlessness of a night. It's beginning with quite a naturalistic look, so you try and believe the world you're in.
This film is going to be a lot more scary if it's actually, if you think that, you know, this is really happening and you're really there.
David has a gentleman that he's worked with that he likes a great deal. His name is
Yo, J-O.
J.O.
Willens.
Like any relationship with a director, it's never the same.
This is a hard life, this being a director and a DP.
I know his style, I know his visual language, and it doesn't need, it's like a shorthand. He doesn't have to explain each time. For me, it's better just like shot number 6 other way.
You want to kind of go into kinetic, bang, and then it's just, there she is, right in the face, and then everything else. And so, I mean, I think we should be this is all handheld in my mind here.
Then we reverse the whole action from here. Because he has his vision, and it's a good vision. I think it's nice to belong to that and to kind of try and enhance that in a way, or bring my own thing to it. Yes. So I'd say maybe a 75 and 100.
Yeah. We're debating between 2 cameras right now, a traditional 35mm camera and a HD camera.
We've been to New Zealand recently to 2 tests, and they tested a digital camera. We tested it against film, and the results of that we showed to the studio.
The video camera system actually has the advantage of being able to shoot in extreme low light conditions, so you don't need giant lighting packages.
But it saw so deeply into the blacks that what we wanted, which was a lot of black, was difficult to achieve.
We want the film to still have a bit of a gritty feel.
So we went with the old classic route of film.
I would say David is very camera savvy. He knows all his lenses, he knows all that stuff. It's harder for a director to say, oh, I want it lit that way, or I want that light there. So that's kind of where I have my freedom a little bit in terms of lighting. Now turn all the way to that light. My approach to visualizing the film is that I look at the whole scene, I look at the environment, I look at, you know, how should this be lit? I'm waiting for the sun to just dip down and then underlight the clouds just a little bit. We're testing at the moment color temperatures of fluorescent lights just for different locations, just to see what we want to use. This will probably be a little bit warm. And then we're going to see how much green we want, or how much coolness, or blue, or whatever.
So now we're off to a place called DigiPost to prepare some footage that we shot, some test footage to be thrown out to film. So this next process is colouring it digitally.
I'm Pete Williams. I'm currently working at Digital Post here in Auckland, New Zealand, and just having a look at how the exposure's handling with grain and getting a rough look, so when we come to do the real thing we know how it's going to look.
I mean, I'm really surprised. I mean, I'm really encouraged. Let's put it that way.
And we're making decisions about, you know, how black the blacks are and what colour they are, to get a really good sense of nighttime.
The big kind of challenge for us is we have a film that plays for, I'd say, 95% at night, where there is no power in Barrow. There's no practical lighting, so obviously it's going to be very dark.
What's your name and what's your job?
I'm the gaffer, Sean. We're basically just, it's like a planning, we'd call it a walk and talk. Make this pad the lighting.
All the cabling comes in and fans out down this.
This is a nice soft light to use.
Sean O'Neill, the gaffer, has built me 2 big moon boxes that you'll see out there, and that just give me a nice soft overhead moon.
This thing is very cool. Sean and his team did a fantastic job.
I want to keep all the lighting very soft, very like as if it's a cloudy night, making my moonlight look real without it being fake or artificial. That's kind of the challenge, to make night look dark, but also interesting and not flat.
For many reasons, we're going to be doing all of our filming at the snow farm during the day and then grading the pictures for day for night.
I don't know how on earth these guys do it, but supposedly today is meant to be tonight.
And as you can see, with the copious amounts of salts and blacks, we are creating a moody weather in bright sunlight.
All this blue sky and sunshine and what looks like, you know, plain daylight to us. Glaring daylight is going to be nighttime.
As the nights go on longer and longer, we move more towards the look of the graphic novel.
This is a movie about violence. To skirt around the subject would be unfair.
Harry, makeup and wardrobe and prosthetics. This is Terry speaking.
So all of our VFX really have to look brutally real.
My name is Gino Acevedo, and I work for Weta Workshop. But when you do human stuff, it has to be pretty spot on, because otherwise, you know, the audience picks up on it right away. It's like, you know, well, that's fake or whatever. So we're making up the little boy today, a little boy who gets his neck ripped out by the little girl. So that's going to be the first makeup for today. This is going to be the little appliance for the little boy. This is going to go on something like this.
It's a truly sick job, but someone has to do it.
Whoa, freaky. With all the coloring and stuff, it's quite a bit of work to get it to blend into his skin. We've also got a little tube here, which I will give it to the special effects boys, and it'll have blood that'll come out of there. Up there.
I can feel it.
How's it feel? Is it right?
It's really hot. Just really itchy.
We're just discussing whether or not he should just go to a doctor's office and pump blood through it and pretend like he's... And then go and be like, is there something wrong with me?
But, you know, again, we're trying to go in a manner that is visceral as opposed to viscous, and not going for gross out factor and showing them just a portion of the horror. That said, we do decapitate 8-year-old vampires.
One of the hardest things that I think people will, you know, kind of go, ooh, when they look at that. I mean, I think one of them might be the little girl vampire. She gets her head chopped off.
Little girl, I think that's probably everyone's favourite from really early on. That was the first death we actually had in the film, and it was pretty gruesome.
We're going to have to stick an axe into a piece of silicone because I'm not going to put a wax head near a little kid.
We took a life cast of the little girl, of her neck. Then from that, we actually put a slit into it that an axe blade could actually fit into. And as soon as the axe goes into it, blood just comes out.
Just to be specific, what I don't want is it coming backwards off the blade.
And 3, 2, 1.
And then what they're going to do digitally is that they're going to take that little section and actually place it onto the actress, the little girl.
That's all we're going to do. That's all we need. Just. Now, people often ask, what happens during the special effects phase of a film? For instance, you might need a head on a pole. Now, obviously, you could cut off someone's head and put it on a pole. But that's a one-time gag. We use special effects.
And the decapitated heads, it was great because I love doing human stuff. A lot of the heads that were going to be on poles and just kind of laying around on the ground, they didn't have to be anybody specific, so they didn't have to match to anybody. So we had some fun and just used some people in the workshop.
Yeah, it was my life cast, and then it had some sculpting done to it.
Is that me?
3D scanning. We'll end up with a mesh like this, a 3D model of the actor that we put in front of it. Can you just close your eyes for a second? It's quite a deformed eye and stuff. That's cool. Can you look at that?
That's amazing.
Once the plaster sets up, we demold the whole thing, pop it out, and we get an exact duplicate of the person's face that we just cast.
You see, what I do is I grow him and I borrow organs. I borrow organs like I borrow teeth.
This is one of the fun hits to do. Mark Boone, who plays Bo, where he gets burned, but then he also gets his head stomped on by Marley.
There's a collapsible skull piece inside there, so it crushes.
I'm putting blood tubes so that blood comes out his nose and his mouth for the kiddies at home.
A mark on the end.
And action, Danny.
And then he just goes like that, and all the skull cracks and the blood comes out of the nose, essentially. There is a lot of blood and nastiness in it. It's gonna be very nasty. Oh, there will be blood. The muffin monster and blood. See all the blood in here. The blood spurting out. A fair amount of blood. Buckets of blood. Buckets of blood.
We generally have a light, a medium, and a dark human blood, and in this movie we've got vampire bloods, which are very dark. This is the vampire blood. It's virtually a black.
There's more sheen to this for some reason.
It's a different basis.
And they do break away, don't they?
You offer them a few choices and let them make the call, and then we make the blood in bulk for the rest of the splattering in the movie.
But we're starting to get something that might be good blood. Slowly but surely we're getting there.
There's quite a lot of blood on set.
Well, there was a bit of a tiff between me and one of the producers. This is my blood. See, the producers battered me around a bit. You can see a few marks here. Well, that was the focus puller. He couldn't hold focus. He's all right now. He's using his left arm. Shan't be getting soft again.
You know, if you want to make a gentle film, then make Lassie or something.
We are shooting a scene in front of the Reese house. All of a sudden, their family meal is interrupted by a vampire smashing through the window and ripping one of them out.
Today I am a vampire. Well, you don't see my face, I'm just a black shadow, hence the all black clothing. Smashing through that window there. And yeah, pretty much simple as that.
Get the mats about that far under the window.
It's a resin product, and we pour it into frames, and when we're ready to go, we'll slip it in the hole without breaking it.
Go. 3, 2, 1, go. Tail sliding.
Tail sliding.
Yeah, all good.
Jesus Christ.
Basically, one of the vampires gets shot off the top of a vehicle, shot through the roof. I'll say bang, bang, and you take it off that, okay? Ready? And action. And bang, bang!
We're going to continue on today, shooting the vampires jumping on the back of the car. I don't wish that I was one of those guys. It's going to be hard work working in this wind.
On the ground, you can't leave the stick shaking around like that.
Blood on his back will be shot off to simulate the bullet.
And 3, 2, 1, go! Jesus Christ!
My name's Alan Poppleton, I'm stunt coordinator on 30 Days Nights.
Doing a gag where we see a guy jump, which will be me tonight, from a high roof to a lower roof, and then she's on a rig and she jumps off the lower roof and kicks Doug in the chest and then starts to feed on him.
It's going to be like, so you got the fuck was that? Bang! Straight down on it.
We have to also do something on the other landing
I worry about the safety of it.
Oh, don't go shit, sorry.
Where the guy can almost come straight down. Not on the camera, but as close to on the camera as we can.
Coming out. Amber coming through.
That's coming through.
Roll cameras.
And 3, 2, 1, go!
Action! Oh! And we had her in a rig, and for us that was probably one of the little bit more complicated in the sense that she had to do pretty much everything. Well, she did do everything herself. 3, 2, 1, go.
Throws me, then I lean back like that.
When you start to get pulled, feet have to be flat to pull, okay? 2, 1, go! That's good speed, but probably too high. Yes, sorry. Yeah, that's right. But 3, 2, 1, go! Cool. Primarily driven by Bo and some of the action sequences where he takes out numerous vampires with the chainsaw that's fixed on the front of it.
Nice soft foam.
A lot of the guys will be swarming over it, getting shot off it, getting dragged by it, cut up by it. So yeah, it should be exciting. Before he starts up, we thought that maybe two guys were coming up to the door. He may kick the door open, hit one guy in the face, and then stick a shotgun out. And then trying to use the vehicle a little bit more. Like if he's come in off-road a little bit, hit the guy in the chest. Yeah. Then hits it in reverse and swings it around 180.
the Barrow. Top of the world.
I think that was amazing.
Go!
Oh, hello, that's a bit, yeah.
Oh, you got a camera?
And again, it's hammered.
The vampire is a nocturnal animal, spending its days in relative seclusion. But here, we can see the feral creatures in their natural habitat. Though their communication is limited, what little words the vampires do speak serve as their strongest drive. The search for blood.
With 30 days, it was like, I really wanted to just create a villain. You know, I wanted bad vampires.
There's nothing romantic about someone taking your blood.
I mean, vampires are always pictured as romantic-y things with the whole lust thing going on, frilly shirts.
I believe these vampires are hell.
They are terrifying.
I just don't think there should be any pretension about them. They should be what they are.
Because what they are is they're real vampires.
There is no theatricality. You kill, you eat, because you're hungry. And you're faster, you're stronger. Nobody's going to intimidate you.
I just wanted to have a quick talk about movement. What I don't want to turn into is zombies, flailing arms and all this stuff. You're a focused bunch of people, but don't be too stiff. Remember, we're not zombies. We're not walking like zombies, we're walking like humans. Action please, and 1, and 2.
What these guys are doing is they're doing a style train in the sense to, so they all look like the same vampire. And a lot of the strikes that we're doing with that are obviously like either forehand or kind of backhand sort of slashes. So we'll just do that with 2 strikes. You're going to go 1 and then 2. A little bit more distance, we can actually really explode into it.
Any of you are doing jumping kills, where you jump on, you get into the neck, and you're soaring before you get to the ground. It's the signature move that these vampires do.
And action!
Basically, it's when you all kind of walk around threatening each other. This is just about sounds and gestures. But don't be curled up, don't be cowering. You're never ever going to run off. Nobody's going to frighten you. Roaring, screaming and such, it's the inhaling. What that does is it keeps you quite static when you do it. You have to come to a point and it's to intimidate someone. You've got someone on the floor and they're moving around. Ow! And you go down.
Iris kacek uciek. Kacek uciek.
Ja, das ist Mon os begun shol den teak.
Mon os begun shol tantik.
Teak.
Teak. This language is based on sort of tribal sounds.
From the Amazonian.
So, for example, God is Gah, and that shows a disgust that the way that humans have this sort of sentimental craving towards God.
So, Our vampires have to have a very specific, unique look that has not been seen before.
I think when people see the vampires in this film, they're gonna be terrified.
Just relax your eyes.
The eyes are large contact lenses.
Looks like you're looking into a demon's face, you know, when people wear those contacts.
Quite uncomfortable at times, but the discomfort has been quite useful to me. A lot of your peripheral vision goes, so you really have to move your head to see something rather than just move your eyes.
They have, you know, these fingernails that are, you know, they're claw-like.
Sort of like cat nails.
It's really good for cleaning earwax.
Again, their teeth are animalistic.
You know, they have shark teeth. They don't have fangs.
Sometimes, instead of looking to talk,
You're like a chimp. I know a chimp. Sometimes people may think that with prosthetics and makeup that you're covering yourself up. But in fact, you're not. In fact, the more true you have to be to some sort of monster within.
Six and a half weeks of nights, back to back, yeah. It ruined my life.
Completely obliterates any other kind of life that you may have.
As the title implies, it's called 30 Days of Night. Is you know, the whole movie shot in the dark, essentially, at nighttime.
When we first started on this film, we didn't have it wasn't so big. It suddenly has grown into something a little bit bigger, and the initial conversations I had about this project, we were going to shoot most of the exterior night stuff on one stage, which is actually the one you see right in front of you here. That then grew into, oh, we need to do car chases and we need to do all sorts of other stuff, and we went outside and we had to shoot all that stuff at night, and it became like, you know, a couple of acres big.
Welcome to Day 15, 30 Days a Night, our first night shoot.
It's also our first night entirely on a night shoot, so people are a little bit jazzed up.
Tonight's first night shoot. Tonight we're going 6 till 6. It's going to be a lot of fun.
First night shoot. First of many.
Do you need some coffee? How do you get through the night shoots?
Coffee. Lots of coffee.
So we're all in that bizarre thing where we wake up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, rush to the shops like zombies, try and do our grocery shopping and get our hair cut, and then rush to set and drink 22 coffees and wait through the night.
How are you doing staying up all night? Tell me about the nights.
I'm used to it now, eh? Yesterday was the first day that I got to 6 and was like, I'm all right, you know? It was just like finishing work.
People are going to work when you're returning home. People are coming back home when you're going to work.
It's a night. That's why I'm asleep.
It's very intense. It's extremely intense.
Well, no, everybody's working like crazy, but the consensus is this rain will last 10 minutes.
Oh, let's come and fucking down. Night shoots, killer. There's a few grumpy people.
Oh, my feet are freezing! He's going to throw salt in his eyes.
Everyone's gonna bet.
Having no life except for the work life makes you go a little bit crazy.
We've got 3 lovely bachelors, all of whom will be vying to win a place in her heart.
Five weeks of night shoots. You get in a rhythm, I think, but you become a vampire yourself. I mean, you don't see daylight.
I loved it because I'm playing a vampire, so it seems appropriate to be shooting at night.
How are you feeling?
And everybody's body clock is fucked. I'd be a lot better if I'd had more coffee. At this point, coffee is actually more important than film stock. I have no idea who I am or where I am. Help me die. God help me, I just want to die.
Day 47 of 30 Days of Nights, the very last night shoot. Hooray!
Very last night shoot.
This is our last night of night shoots. We're very happy. We're falling asleep already.
Yeah, it's our last night shoot tonight. Thank God, because we're turning into zombies.
Mate, yes, it's been horrendous. Tremendous, but horrendous.
Yeah, I am so happy.
Casting in New Zealand is actually really liberating because they have a great base here of phenomenal character actors, and on top of that, of course, with the history of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, we have this great base of creature performance. So it's perfect. I've got phenomenally agile stunt vampires who also can act, and great character actors, the likes of Joel Toback.
We can stay here until they find us and they can kill us all, or we can run like hell. Now, some of us won't make it, but it's better than all of us dying.
I don't consider Doug a bad guy. I think he's annoying.
And Nathaniel Lee's.
I couldn't bring myself to do it.
Yeah.
She'll be. I can try and fight her.
Yeah, that's the thing. Then we work with Little Girl, which is equally fun.
I'm done playing with this one. You wanna play with me now?
You know, it was just about trying to figure out how to stop her laughing.
That was good. Finish everything.
Going to Disneyland.
Stranger, played by Ben Foster. He is one of the most fascinating characters to me.
Kind of a sycophantic wannabe vampire.
Forget about the liquor. You'll see. Just bring me a bowl of raw hamburger.
Ben plays him like a backwoods bayou kind of freak.
I would like to see that.
Ben just has this fantastic chameleon quality as an actor.
Can we do that again just so I can... Thank you. David called me up and said he wanted me to come play with him. I got really excited.
You know what I love about Ben Foster is when he wakes up, he's on set, he's in character.
It's right in there. He really believes in physically putting himself in the character.
The stranger gets shot in the shoulder by Evan. But I got a pretty good idea that if I put a really big clamp on the edge of my toe, that would really hurt.
Super tight. It's like...
Ouch. Hurt like a... But it worked.
You don't have to cite me. You don't have to.
Bo is a guy who lives alone. Nobody in Barrow knows where Bo came from.
Have you seen the oil? You know, the pipeline is fucking leaking out there. It's like a lake of oil out there. Why don't you go, like, do something over there?
Oh, I cited that.
Yeah. Actually, sometimes you don't give him the ticket. Sometimes you're like, I'll get you next
The
time.
movie for Bo is a process of finding out that maybe people are okay.
A little citation now and then lets him know he's a part of this town.
Hello, my name is Mark Rendall. Jessica. I just did my first show. I have very weak stomach muscles.
So it's good, because I can shiver really easily, you know? Because as soon as I tense up, I start shaking. By the end of this, I'll have really strong stomach muscles.
I'm really excited. Like I was saying, I've never been in a film of this genre of horror, and like, I can't wait to be part of something like this.
I'd always thought of one person for Marlowe.
It's gonna be Danny Huston.
Danny Huston.
Please, God, please.
Few actors I know could play that, and Danny has this tremendous malevolent presence.
That's why he was hired. He's amazing.
This design that God has created, Marlowe is a victim of. So he's fighting this eternal battle.
I'm not trapped here for a month. I got involved with 30 Days a Night. It's one of those projects where you read it and you kind of go, it's a great, amazing script, but fat chance of me getting this part. I went in and read, and that's how I got it. Surprise. Stella, I love her. I was in love with her when I read the script. I just thought she's got such guts, such sass.
Lucy, you'd have to clean up after Eben kicked your ass.
Yeah, cool. Yep. I wanted Stella to be this snow angel, this breath of fresh air.
Do you know how to take care of this town without me?
And I love that her relationship with Eben, you know, she's mad at him, she's hurt by him, but she doesn't show it.
And we have cast Josh Hartnett. He's an actor of great ability who's taken largely comedic roles and such, and is now embarking upon a more dramatic career.
I had a basic impression of Eben, quiet, brooding guy, and Josh Hartnett fits it.
We can't fight them the way that we are. Thanks, little brother. Take their stuff.
Are you fucking crazy?
Somebody else's blood!
What I wanted to do was try and place him in a little bit more jeopardy. You know, he's lost his wife. He's struggling to find a relationship with her, even though she's moved away.
I should have fought harder.
It's hard to stop someone when their family's at stake.
Josh is great, you know, I mean, you get thrown together with an actor and a director, and, you know, part of being in this business is being good with people and communicating fast. Okay, working with an actor that you've never worked with before, how does he work? Does he like rehearsal? Does he not? And now it's great because, you know, he likes to have fun, he likes to laugh.
You guys better watch out, because this is going to be awesome.
Okay.
You might want to shield your eyes.
And that's fun for me.
It's a weird thing meeting actors, because if they're in the room with you, you know they're good enough for the role. It's really about getting to know them.
I collaborate well.
It's better.
The crew's just starting to get to know each other. Everybody seems to be pretty cool, except a couple of people, the actresses, really are pains in the ass.
It's great, you know, the crew's been fantastic.
They're all great. All my actors are really good. I'm really pleased with the casting, and
It's very exciting.
Very exciting.
I'm really excited.
Having a good time.
It's going to be a really good film.
I don't want to take this anymore. This is it for me. This is the last one I have to do.
Actors. I mean, like in a few years we can just computer generate them.
Huh?